Let's face it, you're watching this because you don't want to see this movie, probably. Not because you watched it and don't understand the ending, because the ending is pretty straightforward, I think. But there's also the thought of, are they actually going to continue the series? So I'm a fan of The Purge. I think it's a great franchise. It's a stupid, like, shut off your brain type franchise thing, right? Um, the first two, I think, were good. The other ones were okay. Now, this is the Forever Purge. This movie basically says, you know what? That 12-hour annual event, it's purging all year, all day, 24/7, all hours of the time. So pretty much this movie follows a couple, well, two couples, so some people who are trying to escape to Mexico because that is where you flee when you want to escape the purge in America. And so they're trying to get to the border as now there is a forever purge going on because some individuals said, nope, we want to do this all the time and we're going to do it. And pretty much these individuals are white supremacists. And so this is what the film follows as they are trying to escape from these purgers, if you want to call them that. And they're just trying to make it. Now, ultimately, they are able to make it. Now, what happens though at the end is we see a setup, I think. We see a setup for a possible sixth film. And I think that that sixth film will not happen, maybe. Now, in the sixth film, I think if they were to make it, because at the end of the credits, well, not at the end of the credits, but as the credits are coming up, we see a broadcast talking about how the U.S. government has completely fallen against the white supremacist purgers, but now there are actual people that are standing up against them in multicultural cities. And I think that that's pretty much setting up something depending on how this movie does. But when they talked about this with the co-creator, well, not co-creator, the creator, James DeMonaco, he said, between you and I, man, I really intended for the Forever Purge to be the last one up until 4 months ago when I woke up and had an idea for the Purge 6. So, it could happen. I had this idea. I can flip this thing upside down and we can continue this maybe in a way that people can enjoy. I'm actually outlining it right now in between these interviews. If the movie gods say people want to see it, then we'll do it. But I always leave it to the audience to tell us if they want more of it. But we're ready. I have another one if they want it. So Jason Blum has also said that he is interested in continuing the Purge movies as long as they are wanted. And Jason Blum, he is just killing it in the horror genre, honestly. He's taking these like low budgets and flipping them into millions. So the Forever Purge pretty much was the most on the nose political movie of the series. They're all political. I mean, all of them. I mean, we had one called Election Night, right? And I think that this one was really like driving home that thing. Like it was like, yep, we're going all the way with it, which is a good thing, I guess. But I think that it really ended in a way where it was like not a closure at all, and it's like a tease as to like, do y'all want to see this? Do y'all want to see this? Come on, if y'all want it, we'll give it to you. You know. Although they kept calling it a sort of like end all to be all type film. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens if we get a sixth one or not. I think a sixth one could be interesting. What would it be though? It'd be like the Purge War. Now that's the title right there, right? Because that's pretty much how it ends. Like those ending right there is like we are on a full-on war now, and this is pretty much like the anarchy one. I feel would have been called that, not the second one, but whatever, you know, they already did what they did. But war would be, I guess, one to call it, or the Purge Revolution, something like that, because it's like, who is going to take back the country at this point now? Is it going to be these racists, or is it going to be America? I think that's pretty much where it's like headed into. Definitely we'll have to keep an eye on the box office. There's not much that the Purge is going up against, I feel, because the other movie is called that, I mean, not called, but the other movie that's out this weekend is a whole different audience, and of course I'm talking about the Boss Baby. So I don't see the Purge having much like blocking it right now. But the thing is that next week we have Black Widow coming out, so Purge has to pretty much make a big statement in a week or so before we know if they're going to either make another one or not. And I definitely do think that they are really looking at these box office numbers because, I mean, people are going back to theaters, and I think that this is a good time for them to come out with this film. It was $25 million, so I think if they make at least 100, I think they'll call that a success. And I think it's pretty possible they could, especially with people just wanting to go back and see some movies. So we'll see what happens with that. Are you interested in watching this movie? Did you go watch this movie? Have you watched the other Purge? Which one was your favorite? I think definitely the first one, and then definitely the third one, Election Night, because I think the first one's like it wanted to be a serious film, and then by the third one they were just like, yeah, we know what we are. We're gonna just continue to be as wacky and off over the top as we can be. And I thought that that was great when movies do that, when they're able to see themselves for what they are and sort of give themselves a good laugh at themselves. So Forever Purge, not the last one, but could be the last one. It's just gonna depend. Does the series have to keep going, or are you tired of it? I definitely was done after Anarchy, I feel, but it's just like a guilty pleasure type of film that I'll just watch all of them whenever they do come out. So that's the thing with that. I will be making another video talking about all the films and just the whole timeline as well, probably this weekend, just because I feel like doing that. So we'll do that. I have not watched the show. If you've watched the show, let me know down below. How is it? If you enjoyed it or not. Is it worth a watch, or is it just like just leave it and forget? But thoughts on the Purge 6, thoughts on the Forever Purge, and what do you think about the show as well? Could this become a new thing, or are we past that point? Like, is this cow like dried up? I think it's been dried up since the third film, but obviously people are watching them, so they're gonna keep doing them. Let me know. I just don't see what else they could do at this point. Anyways, as always, that is gonna do it for me. If you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications. Check out my other videos I already did. I did a video on the Many Saints of Newark. I did a video on Don't Breathe 2, and I also did a video on Loki, a big theory that I have. I'm King the Conqueror. So go check out those videos. We talk all the stuff you love about pop culture here on Campfire, and then we can discuss it in the comments, or you can follow me on Twitter and TikTok for more stuff that I love to talk about. As always, that is going to do it for me. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.